222. 222. I put weight on. So that's a failure for this week.
Don't weigh yourself once. You need to do it every single day. What if they had some cheat meal planned for him he had the night before, so he had more volume of food? What if he didn't take a dump? You know? We hear all the time about all these celebrities who gain a lot of muscle, lose fat, and we don't actually know how they do that. You know, they just say they eat healthy and train really hard. But Will Smith just came out with a YouTube original called Best Shape of My Life. So we're gonna take a look at this and see what the professional dietitians and trainers come up with for him for getting back into shape, and see if it's actually good, or if maybe there's some ways you could tweak it if you have similar goals to do even better.
I'm comfortable with me. I am me. This is me, y'all. This is me, y'all. I'm gonna lose 20 pounds in 20 weeks.
So he's gonna lose 20 pounds in 20 weeks. I mean, just for a typical guy his size, the average guy, that's not difficult to do. 500 calorie deficit a day, that's about 3,500 calories. Not about, but it is 3,500 calories a week, which is a pound of weight loss. And that is quite easy to do if you make good food choices as far as choosing high volume, low calorie options. So let's see what they plan to put them on with the professionals.
That was the kind of show I thought I was making. I don't want to do any of this. I'm finished with the best shape of my life.
Week 15, he is saying he doesn't want to do it anymore. So I'm guessing they probably did way too much as far as restricting food and or too much exercise.
Okay, we're done. Let's pack it up.
Okay, disclaimer real quick. Will Smith is an actor, and this is a YouTube original series thing they planned. So I'm not saying this is fake, but a good story has drama in it. So did he quit? Did he not quit? Is this all for show? I mean, it is difficult to lose weight and it's hard, tough mentally, but just keep that in mind. But we're gonna go into this assuming that everything is legit and nothing's planned, but just keep in mind it is a show.
I'm at a calorie deficit and I'm in here crying every day. I'm done.
So let's see what the plan is.
My physique in the past has been spectacular. All right, so I did a movie. The character required that I put weight on, and then COVID-19 hit. COVID made the weight more than the role called for.
So that's a common thing I hear. Everyone says COVID caused weight gain. Really, weight gain is just caused by eating too much. Yeah, gyms are closed or were closed, a lot of that, but that's all on you. You can go for a walk every day and burn a lot of calories. So even if I didn't have my home gym, I'd still find something to do to stay active. Try not to use excuses, whether it's COVID or anything else. You'll make time for what's important to you.
Nobody is disciplined enough to be hungry and it's muffins there and not eat the muffins.
It's very true, especially if you're dieting. Don't keep tempting food around the house, because when you get really hungry, you're gonna be tempted to give in and you're gonna eat a lot of it. And then that just makes the whole thing more difficult.
I'm embarrassed, okay? We're gonna keep it real, I'm embarrassed, okay?
I had serious writer's block and I'm not feeling great, like mentally or physically, so
he's writing an autobiography. Something else is difficult to do, especially when you're creating things, doing stuff like that. You get these ideas and it sounds like a great idea, and then it's a lot bigger task than you think. So trying to do that along with being in a calorie deficit, it is easy to get moody, irritable, and just not feel great, and then you're not as motivated to do the other things you want. So it's just gonna make everything in your life harder when you are trying to lose weight.
So I'm gonna go to the 200, which I'm sure is it, but it's like not moving at all at 200. Oh, damn. That's terrible. I was feeling bad. Okay, it's 221.
So initial weigh-in, 221 pounds. So then we got to get down to 201 in 20 weeks based on this.
It's 221. It's 221.
I'm a personal trainer.
All right, here we go. Personal trainer's gonna let us know. We got Will Smith, so these are gonna be the best in the world, right?
Been working with Will for about, well, this is the 9th year. So sleep, obviously getting as much as you can.
Creatine, BCAAs, pre-workout, cardio, resistance. 2,500 calories a day, it looks like. It's not bad. You can get a lot of volume in with 2,500 calories.
So the basic framework is we'll do 2 days of resistance training, then we'll take off, and then we go back on 2 days. Will's a big fan of doing cardio first thing in the morning, so we'll do some sun.
All right, so we have arms and abs, legs, rest, back and core for whatever's left. So he's training whole body over 4 days, once a week. So, I mean, if he hasn't been working out, that's not bad. You know, get everything in there. I would probably do something more like a full body workout 2, maybe 3 times a week.
Sunrise runs. When I mean some, I mean every morning. And then we'll do,
Wait.
so we'll do some sunrise runs. When I mean some, I mean every morning. And then we'll do resistance training a little bit later in the day.
Okay, so he just said they're gonna do sunrise runs every morning. Right here, so what we saw before with him saying he doesn't want to do this anymore, this is probably why. This is what everyone does. They want to lose weight, so it's like, I'm going to go all in and do way too much to start. So he's going to do 4 days a week of resistance training, which is good, working the muscles, but then running every single morning. When you go from being out of shape for one and doing nothing to running every single morning, running is difficult. I don't even run. It's hard. It hurts my knees. But when you're overweight too, if he's 20 pounds more than he wants to be already, it's going to be even more difficult. So I would have chosen resistance on that rest day. That's when you run. Then resistance, rest. Run on your rest days. Do your cardio on your rest days.
Terrible. From I am legends to I am luggage.
I remember that scene in I Am Legend. He was doing a bunch of chin-ups behind the neck, which I guess you can do that if you want, but that's hard on my shoulders. But that's whatever.
2021, best shape of my life.
I'm really interested to see what the result is this week because he worked really hard.
222. 222.
It doesn't feel right.
So you hear the trainer say it doesn't feel right. So he put on 1 pound this week. If they judge his calories right, he has a dietitian, I'm sure, in there who's making meals for him. So he has the right amount of food. He's exercising, running, doing all this stuff. How is it possible that he gained weight? I don't think it's from him cheating or anything like that. Even the trainer said it doesn't feel right, but remember back when we looked at this, everything he was taking, we saw supplements in there. Creatine. He wasn't taking anything, right? Then he puts him on creatine every day, probably 5 grams. When you take creatine, your body retains more water in your muscles. That's how you're able to bust out 1 or 2 extra reps at the end of everything. Push a little bit harder because your muscles are made up of a lot of water and it gets more water in there so you can push harder. So my guess is he lost 1 pound, if not more. You can gain 2-3 pounds easy in a week if you start taking creatine. I would have let him know that if I was his trainer and be like, hey, we started these supplements. This is what can happen. You're probably holding water because we measured all this right. And the other problem is don't weigh yourself once a week. You need to do it every single day. What if they had some cheat meal plan for him he had the night before, so he had more volume of food. Maybe he had a lot more carbs and it absorbed more water and he's holding even more water then. What if he didn't take a dump? You know, it can happen. So you got to weigh yourself every single morning. You wake up, you go to the bathroom, you weigh yourself, you log it. And then at the end of the week, you average all that out. And then you get your average weight for each week so you can see the progression that way. Because one snapshot once a week is not good. I was 182.8 one morning. The next morning, I was 184.0. The next morning, 183.4. The next one, 182.6. So it's bouncing around like 1.5 pounds easy day to day. But then the average for the whole week ended up being 183. Whether you're gaining or losing weight, you need to track it every single day. and then you can see over time, oh, okay, good. In this case, it still would have gone up because it's probably from creatine and holding more water.
So that's a failure for this week with this whole stupid show we're trying to do.
That's really bad on his trainer, not telling him like, hey, this is probably why. Maybe he doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's that hard to know. But I mean, for your client, that is really hard on you when you put so much work and effort in that, and he's probably been hungry all week. I mean, and then you see that your weight went up.
Last week, Will actually gained weight, and this was when he was hitting the workouts pretty hard. Obviously, there's always going to be a reaction to that.
All right, I'm going for 3 pounds this week.
Just make sure you put some protein and some fats in, so you still want to crunch.
So you see the reaction because they don't understand what probably happened. Now he's gonna try to lose 3 pounds. So he did all that work and gained a pound. So now he's probably gonna crash diet even more to get even further ahead. And then the guy says, make sure you take some protein and fats. I don't know what that's about, but all you really need, if you want to retain muscle as much as possible, because your muscle is metabolically active. So you want to hold your muscle, you'll be able to eat more and then lose the fat. So when you're in a deficit, you want to make sure you're eating more protein, like 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Your body, since it's in a deficit, it's going to pull from fat, and if it has to, it'll start pulling from your muscle. So providing extra protein when you're cutting down helps to maintain that muscle. And then the rest of your calories can come from carbs, fats. It doesn't really matter, whatever you prefer. You need to make sustainable changes, not go crazy, take it easy, be smart, and make sure you like and subscribe to this channel so that you will continue to be smart. Check out Instagram at Camber Fitness, all that good stuff, and hope you enjoyed. See you soon.